Guys, there is a full-blown attack against conservative and traditional values in this country, right? That's just what it is, okay? A lot of it we've seen, it's been social and political, okay? Been social and political. Now it is literally being institutionalized, right? There's an institutional, an attack on conservative and traditional values in this country. Because just a few days ago, guys, I did a video about how the school boards basically have requested the FBI to label parents who are protesting mandates and critical race theory as domestic terrorists, right? That's right. They want to treat parents who are concerned about what their kids are being taught in school and mandates for their children. They want to treat them as domestic terrorists, as if they are threats to this country, right? That's what the school board said, right? They sent a letter to the Biden administration and the FBI requesting this. Lo and behold, I don't even know if it's a week later, right? It's not even a week. It hasn't been a week. The FBI has mobilized on this big threat, right? This big threat the FBI has mobilized, okay? I've never seen the FBI move this fast. As Attorney General, Merrick Garland has instructed the FBI to mobilize against parents who oppose critical race theory in public schools, citing threats. The letter follows the National School Board Association's request to classify protests as domestic terrorism. All right, so shout out to my boy Christopher Rufo for exposing this last night on Twitter. But we're gonna actually read from an article here that goes into more detail about kind of what's in this letter, right? And go from there. The Department of Justice will mobilize the FBI in response to a spike in harassment, intimidation, and threats of violence against school board members across the country. In a memorandum released Monday evening, Attorney General Merrick Garland directed the FBI and U.S. attorneys' offices to meet in the next 30 days with federal, state, and local law enforcement leaders to outline strategies for addressing the incidents, which have become more frequent and more volatile in recent months. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing that kills me about this. First of all, I'm pretty sure 99.9% of those parents at those school board meetings are peaceful, right? They may say things that hurt some feelings. They may say some things that people don't like, but they're expressing their opinion. They're expressing their free speech. Now, any threats of violence or any type of real violence, obviously, I don't condone that. That is wrong. However, that is a very, very, very small minority of what is happening. And the fact that they're framing this as some type of domestic terror threat is sickening. Especially considering how after all last year, we actually saw domestic terrorism in this country, right? Cities being burned, neighborhoods being burned, businesses being looted. People actually lost their lives. People died from BLM and Antifa riots. And you know what the FBI did? They did nothing. Matter of fact, I showed you a video, guys, of Nancy Mace pressing the FBI on if they even track what Antifa does, right? FBI director says no. They don't. They don't even track them. So you can be a left-wing lunatic. You can loot, you can burn, you can steal, you can kill. You can do all that. And the FBI won't even blink an eye. They will say, oh, that's made up, right? That's imaginary. What are you talking about? That doesn't exist. Antifa doesn't exist. What are you talking about? But parents, a concerned parent goes to the school board and say, hey, you know what? I don't want my child being taught critical race theory, right? I don't want certain mandates in school for my children. Oh, what are you talking about? You're a domestic terrorist. You're a threat. Guys, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Guys, the country that we know and love is being lost. It's being lost. And the fact that the FBI and the establishment is so gun-ho against these parents that are simply protesting critical race theory and other things tells you that this is an issue that they care about. That they want to indoctrinate children, and that's what a battleground is for them. That's what a battleground is. That's what they want. They want it so bad that they will send the FBI after parents who oppose their authoritarian brainwashing. Let's read a little bit more here. Threats against public servants are not only illegal, they run counter to our nation's core values. Garland wrote in a memorandum released Monday evening, those who dedicate their time and energy to ensuring that our children receive a proper education in a safe environment deserve to be able to do their work without fear for their safety. The announcement comes just days after the group representing the country's school boards wrote to President Joe Biden to plead for federal assistance in responding to mounting threats and violence that they liken to domestic terrorism against school board members related to their decisions on COVID-19, school safety policies, critical race theory, and more. You know, was actually hilarious about the whole threats against public servants thing, again, which I don't condone, right? But we're literally watching in real time far leftists harass a public servant in Kirsten Sinema, and Joe Biden goes out there and says, well, it's just a part of the process. This is a part of the process. But if you go to a school board meeting, which is your right, it's free speech, you're doing it in the actual environment that is sanctioned to do that. You're not actually pulling up to a school board member's house. I have not seen that. I've never seen that. You're not following them on planes and in the bathrooms. If you do it in the venue that you're allowed to do it in, that you're supposed to do it in, oh, you're a domestic terrorist. Right? Like, again, you see the cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world that we live in, guys. This is insane. This is insane. In recent months, there has been a disturbing spike in harassment, intimidation, and threats of violence against school administrators, board members, teachers, and staff who participate in the vital work of running our nation's public schools, Garland wrote. While spirited debate about policy matters is protected under the Constitution, that protection does not extend to threats of violence or efforts to intimidate individuals based on their views. Okay, again, like I said, who is showing up to school board members' houses? Who is following school board members into bathrooms or showing up to their boats? Right? I've seen all this done from people on the left in the past week. I have not seen that done to school board members. I have not seen that. But again, this is what they're concerned about. It's almost as if all this stuff is purely political. Where the hell is the Republican Party? Where is the Republican Party on this? Why is the GOP so damn useless when it comes to attacks against their own base? Cultural attacks. The GOP should be standing up to this and saying, no, this is wrong. We will not allow our people, the American people, to be subject to this type of targeting from the FBI. We won't allow that. We won't stand for that. They're not going to say anything about it because they're castrated. They're castrated individuals. And this is the problem with the Republican Party. They're useless when it comes to real issues like this, when it comes to what is currently happening to the people that they claim they represent. According to the memorandum, the Justice Department will launch a series of efforts in the coming days designed to address the rise in criminal conduct directed towards school personnel. A task force, which is set up to include representatives from the Justice Department's Criminal Division, National Security Division, Civil Rights Division, the Executive Office for U.S. Attorneys, the FBI, and more, will determine how federal enforcement tools can be used to prosecute the threats and crimes and ways to assist state and local law enforcement where threats of violence may not constitute federal crimes. Again, it's amazing to me how they mobilize on this, but they did not mobilize when we had cities being burned, people being killed, right? Billions of dollars of damage to public property and private property all last year. They did nothing. They got mad at Trump because Trump suggested bringing in the National Guard. But for whatever reason, it's totally legitimate to use the FBI and the Justice Department to go after parents. Again, this is insane. Insane. The memo also tasked the Justice Department with creating specialized training and guidance for local school boards and school administrators to help them understand the types of behaviors that constitute threats, how to report threatening conduct and to whom, and how to capture and preserve evidence of threatening conduct to aid in investigation and prosecution process. What that basically means is that if you say that you're against critical race theory and that you demand your school board do something different, if they get offended and hurt by that, then they could probably say that you're a threat. Right? That's what this leads to. Anybody who opposes critical race theory and brainwashing the kids and mandates, you're a threat. That's what they're going to deem you as. That's what they're going to deem you as. And they're definitely going to do that for the mandates because they're going to say, well, you're a public health threat. That's what they're going to say. Right? That's what's going to happen. Over the last few weeks, school board members and other educational leaders have received death threats and have been subjected to threats and harassment both online and in person. Chip Slavin, the interim executive director and CEO of the National School Board Association, said in a statement Monday evening. Again, listen, I don't condone any of that stuff. That stuff is obviously wrong. That stuff should be investigated. But At the end of the day, I mean, that to me seems to be a local issue. That's an issue that you take up with local law enforcement. Why does the FBI need to be involved in this? I don't understand. That's a local issue. But they've now made this national. Why? Because these parents have went after the ideological battleground, right? That's why this is now a national issue. That's why they're taking this so serious. It's an ideology war, right? That's what it is. Slavin said Garland's swift action is a strong message to individuals with violent intent who are focusing on causing chaos, disrupting our public schools, and driving wedges between school boards and the parents, students, and communities they serve. All right. Yeah, guys. Again, this is absolutely insane. This is one of those things that, again, where's the Republican Party on this? Why are they not pushing back against this? Who knows? Let's give them some time, right? Let's give them some time. Okay? Let's give them some time. Maybe they'll show up. Maybe they will, who knows, do something about this. But regardless, you guys see what's going on here. When you come after their precious little critical race theory, you see how they react. You see how now all of a sudden the FBI is involved. For what? But when it comes to anything that goes on the left in regards to their terrorism, their domestic terrorism, the FBI turns a blind eye. They have nothing to say about it. They don't even track it. But the parents are the threat, not the people burning down cities, looting, stealing, rioting, killing. Those people are not the threats. Parents. Parents who are concerned about what their kids are learning in school. They're the threats in this country. Whew. Boy. This is why elections are so damn important. Elections are so important. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.